Thank you. Perhaps I treated you too harshly.
What's up everyone, I am back from camping. I'm 17 now and I've only got less than a year that I can keep using the haha idiot you're getting made fun of by a child dumbass talking point in my videos. So I best be getting to work. But The Last of Us Remake. Holy shit, has my opinion changed on this game over the last week or so. Now, I won't lie to you, at first I was actually like pretty excited for this game. From what they were showing the weeks leading up to now, it was going to be a full-on remake from the ground up of one of my favorite games of all time, with the gameplay enhancements that they added in The Last of Us 2, which honestly, those enhancements were that game's saving grace for me personally. It seemed like this was basically going to be the definitive way to play a game in this series, since part 2 is very obviously lacking in the story end, despite it having some genuinely phenomenal ideas on paper, but nowhere near the talent to execute them correctly. But then the price came out. This game, which was essentially a reskin with gameplay enhancements on the original, was going to be $70 fucking dollars. Literally no game ever to come out is worth $70. I'm sorry. At most, this game should be $50, which honestly, even now with all the hindsight that happened the last week or so, I think the game should be $40 now. Because about a week ago, a gameplay leak came out for the game showing there to be next to no gameplay improvements. The only gameplay improvements that was showcased were the AI enhancements and new bow mechanics that they had in Last of Us 2. No going prone, no dodging, and not even any jumping. Which again, keep in mind, as little as those gameplay enhancements sound like they are, they genuinely made the whole Last of Us 2 experience so much better than the game's story made it have any right to be. Like I've said this before and I'll say it again, Last of Us 2 is actually fun as hell. The combat feels so tight and swift, with the encounters feeling really well designed, especially in the second half when you start playing as Abby, and it's the main reason I actually do like the game. But apparently these enhancements weren't enough for Naughty Dog to simply copy and paste into the remake. And a few days ago, Naughty Dog dropped a deep dive into the remake, confirming basically everything those leaks showed, that there were essentially no gameplay enhancements, and pretty much the only things that have been changed was the look of the game and of course the price tag. This is probably the most disappointed I've been in with a game developer that I really held in high regard even after The Last of Us 2. Like, say what you will about Last of Us 2, love it or hate its story, the gameplay is solid. I don't think anyone has ever argued against that. And since the gameplay in Last of Us 2 is as good as it is, I can honestly look past the really bad execution of plot points within the game's story. With the remake, or really it's a remaster at this point because there are next to no changes outside of graphics, so I'm just gonna call it the remaster from now on. But with the remaster, it's quite literally just copy and paste everything except the graphics and UI. And again, it seems like they changed the bow mechanics and those are the only changes. And this is $70. Jesus fucking Christ. I'll admit, a lot of the people that are saying The Last of Us remaster is shit are those same people that hype up shit like the Demon's Souls remaster, which is literally the exact same situation as The Last of Us remaster. And I do think it's bullshit that FromSoft never had a controversy blow up as big as this, but that's beside the point. The Last of Us remaster is a bad cash grab and absolutely not worth the $70 they're charging for it. And if you are thinking about buying it, either play the original, buy the remaster on sale, or pirate the game. To be honest, all of my hype for this game is basically dead now. I mean, I'm excited to finally have The Last of Us on PC officially and not through an emulator. I can fucking replace Joel with Leon in Resident Evil 4 now. But other than that, I just don't care. Hopefully them putting the remaster on PC also makes them put part 2 on PC. It's actually kind of funny. The remaster for this game is so bad that it's literally making people change their perspective on part 2 and realize that it wasn't as bad as everyone was saying it was at launch. Again, don't get me wrong, part 2 still has a fucking awful story. But other than the one element, I can't really name anything else about that game that's really bad, so to say. But to my surprise, most of the PlayStation fanboys have actually turned on this game. I saw MBG make a video ranting about it. Dreamcast guy turned on this game. Because again, the thing that's so ironic about this remaster situation is that all of the people clamoring when the game got announced for why it needed to be made was because the gameplay of the original Last of Us felt outdated and clunky, which that on its own could be its own discussion, but I'm not even going to get into that. Don't get me wrong, from a corporate standpoint, I understand why this game needed to be made. They had the Last of Us TV show coming up, and putting out a brand new remaster of the original Last of Us around the same time the TV series came out would probably make the remaster sell like hell if the TV series ended up being successful. But the point is, there's no gameplay changes, and all of those people in Damage Control a few months ago saying why there needed to be a remake are probably on suicide watch right now. But as always with the internet, these fanboys keep digging themselves into a deeper and deeper hole. Like with our PlayStation fanboy of the day today, FoxyGamesUK, where he basically acts like the entire situation surrounding the remake is one big controversy and that all of the people criticizing the remaster are filthy hypocrites. So enough talking and let's see what YouTube has shout out today.
Now, if you just joined us after the break, welcome. Now let's talk about The Last of Us Part 1 Remake on PlayStation 5, also in development for PC. Yet another targeted PlayStation IP. It's becoming an ongoing trend, isn't it?
Or PlayStation's games have just been on a downward spiral so far since this gen started. Like, don't get me wrong, the whole controversy surrounding God of War Ragnarok being a DLC is fucking stupid. It's not a DLC, and anyone saying that it is a dumbass, but still, what PlayStation games this gen have come out that were genuinely groundbreaking? I cannot name you a single one so far. I've got my fingers crossed with God of War, Spider-Man 2, and the Wolverine game, but other than that, I genuinely have no clue.
So here's my take. Last week or so, I noticed the fake outrage, pseudo-controversy, and uninformed rhetoric coming from the Lonely Hearts Boy Club with their desperately seeking Susan attitude, their Karen-level attention-grabbing nonsense.
That's right, everyone. Those of you who are expecting some sort of gameplay enhancements to The Last of Us Part 1 with its $70 price tag, like, fuck, not even The Last of Us 2 gameplay enhancements, but like, what about a new level, some new guns, literally anything new? I don't even care if what they add fucks with the continuity of the game, cause the sequel already did that enough. Shit, add in levels to see what the fuck Abby was doing during the first game. That would honestly be pretty cool. I don't care, just give me a reason for why this game is $70, please. Because the biggest change to this game isn't even the graphical change, it's the fact that they cut out about a third of the content that came from the original Last of Us and its PS4 port. The multiplayer. Yes, if you didn't know this by now, the multiplayer, one of the main selling points of the original Last of Us, is completely gone. An entire third of the original game. And again, they're charging $70 fucking for this shit. But yeah, what the hell? Why are you complaining? Who cares that there's literally no new content that wasn't in the original?
Don't ask questions, just consume product and then get excited for next products.
And the only way they can get it is to tweet stupidity, spread falsehoods, and use old-ass pre-alpha footage in an attempt to diminish the quality of the game and the hard work of all involved over at Naughty Dog Studios.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone was judging the stuff in the leaked gameplay because it looked bad. I mean, it looked bad, but not like graphically or animation-wise. The main thing that I kept hearing when those leaks came out were that there were no gameplay enhancements, and Naughty Dog has literally confirmed that now. When the game got announced, they told everyone that this was a full overhaul starting essentially from scratch, built from the ground up. There is absolutely no reason why they shouldn't be able to add in literally just some new gameplay enhancements that, funnily enough, they've already made in a previous game. This should not be hard. Literally all they have to do is fucking copy and paste, and they can't even do that
in its development. So then Sony goes and releases a 10-minute trailer, which you can see playing right now in this here video, outlining, detailing the vast improvements made to the game since the original PS3, the standard but enhanced PS4 version, and now Remake PS5 release due early September of this year. Visually on par with the phenomenally realistic looking sequel, with added physics and destruction, significantly improved character models, animations, lighting, resolution, frame rate, you know, the works. Now, if you are like me and you picked up all versions of the existing games, I totally understand your reluctance to part with $70 or 70 UK Great British pounds for the remake, but again, it's not a huge problem to solve now, is it? Simply do not buy it if it's not worth the money to you.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard for people to make the don't like it, don't buy it argument with people when, again, like with King Thrash, you people are always bitching about Xbox, Game Pass, the games they release, them buying up other studios, and literally anything else they do. So how the fuck are you gonna be trying to tell people don't like it, stop complaining, and don't buy it when you can't even follow that same logic and
keep that same energy?
It's all a matter of perspective. It's a value-based proposition. In that, how much do you value the Last of Us series?
For most people, not much after the horrible writing decisions they made in part 2.
If you think the game is overpriced for what you are getting, well, that's the asking price. Buy it or leave it alone.
So then again, I ask you, what the fuck is the point of you always bitching about Xbox? Buy it or leave it alone.
Wait for a sale. Again, you often hear people say, Sony is forcing me to spend $70 on a game I already purchased twice already. Sony have a Killzone styled gun to my head. I have to do it because I want to live. Stockholm Syndrome springs to the hive mind.
I think those people might belong in a mental asylum. Maybe that's just me. I don't know.
Look, I love The Last of Us. And for me, $70, £70 is not that much of a stretch. Would I prefer to pay 50 or heck, 40? Sure. But I don't approach BMW or Mercedes showrooms and complain its prices do not align with what I think the vehicles are worth.
But you sure as hell approach Xbox like that.
I mean, some idiot who I shall not name went on trashed The Last of Us Remake, yet praised Grand Theft Auto 5, a game with 3 iterations across 3 generations of hardware with no significant change to actual gameplay, only aesthetics, really more pleasing to the eye with updated PS5 DualSense control features, what have you, which is pretty much what The Last of Us Remake is offering.
Okay, for one, what the fuck was the dude praising about GTA 5? Was he praising that the game itself was good? Cause I don't understand how that's proving that he's a hypocrite. I'm assuming he was praising the new port of GTA 5 that came out for the PS5 and Xbox Series X a couple months ago. Which, don't get me wrong, that thing was a complete dumpster fire, maybe even worse than the Last of Us remaster. But let's say that was what he was talking about. Why the hell would you be taking that dude seriously? He's a hypocrite. There isn't any debating in that.
At the end of the day, week or month, I only pay what I think something is worth. Now, the sheer amount of work that has gone into The Last of Us Part 1 remake cannot be understated. I watched the trailer multiple times and I concur it is a phenomenal improvement over The Last of Us PS4 Pro remaster.
I wouldn't even go that far anymore at this point. I mean, it's an improvement, sure, an uncalled for one, but the improvements are once again literally bottom of the barrel. Graphical enhancements and more accessibility features. That's it. Everything else remains completely untouched and it's fucking pathetic.
I'm not here white knighting for this game. It doesn't need me to do that. Anyone who's played the series knows what I'm talking about. So it's definitely a day one buy for me.
That's right, everyone. I'm not white knighting for this series, but 5 seconds later, I'm going to tell you how I'm buying this game on day one. Oh my god, this is so fucking sad.
Because I think owning this game at £70, although I'd like to pay more.
Holy shit, what is up with these PlayStation fanboys begging to pay more for shit? No game is worth $70. PlayStation is not some bad girl online. It's not gonna read your name out for them for paying $70. What the fuck?
Well, it's worth it, but not at any price. I think $70 or Great British Pounds is an absolute limit for me.
Okay, we'll see what happens when PlayStation raises the price again in a couple of years, and you'll be defending that shit again. I can almost guarantee it. Cause it's like, oh, if you're fine with them jacking up the price another $10, who cares if they do it again? These people make no fucking sense, but we all know they're gonna be defending it again anyway if they do that.
Had they charged, let's say, $100 for this game, well, I wouldn't be buying it.
I mean, again, honestly, at this point, why not? PlayStation this entire time has been testing the waters with you people to see what they can get away with. The whole Horizon Forbidden West shit from last year, all the GT7 shit, the Demon Souls remaster, all of that is to see what they can get away with, and you're eating that shit up like it's nothing. So really, you can't tell us that you're gonna be drawing the line at $100 for an overpriced remaster, when let's face it, we all know that's a fucking lie. Oink, piggy, it's feeding time.
So would I like to pay less? Sure. Who doesn't want to pay less? I mean, I'd like to pay less for a night out. I'd like to pay less for a car. I'd like to pay less for flights, for gas, for food, for clothes. Everybody would like to pay less. So if spending $70, 70 Great British Pounds is not worth it to you on any level, then stick to Game Pass and PlayStation Plus, Extra or Premium or whatever. Don't buy a thing.
Or, you know, pirate shit, that also works.
Shut the fuck up and enjoy those part of the subscription entitlement games you will receive, and quit arguing with people willing to pay the price, people supporting their favorite game series, the studios that make those games, that contribute, the games that actually go into Game Pass or PlayStation. Let me repeat that. These people who are willing to pay the price, supporting those game developers in order for them to make more games, are the very same people who are contributing to games that actually go into Game Pass or PlayStation Plus in the future.
And so are those same people who are paying for Game Pass and other shit like that? What is this point? I'm sorry?
And without those willing to pay the $60 or $70 premium for high quality games, what kind of tact will these service users get going forward? Think about that the next time you criticize somebody for making an informed decision in how they choose to spend their own money.
Okay, I'm sorry, buying the fucking Last of Us remaster is probably one of the least informed decisions you can do with spending your money. Honestly, I have no clue how Naughty Dog has continued to spiral down from mediocrity to just straight up dog shit over the last 2 years since The Last of Us 2 came out. It's honestly kind of impressive how drastic they've fallen up since before the leaks for that game to now. I'm willing to bet that they're going to figure out a way to fuck up the new multiplayer as well, probably make it a battle royale or something and make it a live service shitfest like Halo Infinite. It sure as hell won't surprise me. But with that, we've reached the end of that abortion of a video, and that comes to the part where I ask you to like, subscribe, join my Discord, follow my Twitter and Instagram, and suck my dick.
What are you going to do?